Ro.creating. Welcome. So the workshop's coming along quite nicely. The main area is done. Now I want to put a drill on the left hand side and storage. So I had loads of little blue bins, I had metal trays, and I picked up two little multi-drawer plastic cabinet things in a shop that are cheap as chips, and of course my drill. Now this is my first attempt at CGI. Check it out. Yeah, could do better. Now, so I made a little wooden base out of MDF for the drill to be sitting on. Firstly, I didn't want it scratching the countertop, and the second thing is I wanted to find the location for the drill and then take the drill away and, you know, just know where things are. So the idea here was work with what I have. Small cabinets on the right hand side, big storage up on top like big bolts, corkscrews, big things like that, and then metal bins on the left hand side. So once I found the location for the drill, I screwed the base in, and then I could take the drill away. And get those two plastic cabinets in first. Laser level comes out, and now I'm going to build a framework up and around and on top of those plastic cabinets. To find the width for the metal trays, simply put it up against a piece of wood, mark it, cut it, and now it's starting to come together. And once you determine the heights, take the whole lot down and build it on a bench. Now I made everything here with a 7x2, and of course I didn't have enough 7x2, so I had some 6x2 and I added a piece of 2x1 onto the back of it. Easy solution. Now everything's flush. So once you kind of get your positions right for stuff, you screw and glue nice and strong, kind of make the carcass for that. Now I decided to build one side of it here on the bench and then attach the second side in when it was in position, so I could use the laser level and make sure everything was nice and straight. Now you might notice here as well that I have a couple of bandages in my eye. That's Dusty's fault. We were horse playing around one night and sure, didn't they split the head in me? Tough dog. Big thick head in him. So then, once I knew where he was going to be, just double check everything fits. Then it's time for the horizontal member. So he goes on, mark where he's going to be, and then a couple of dabs of glue and screw him in. Good and strong. So the bins are going to go on top. Now I prepared 3/4 inch MDF for the bins, and the idea was I cut 3 long strips and then all these short little members that are about I think a centimeters higher than each of the bins, and I routed off one rounded edge on them. The plan is put a bin down, get your miter glue, and basically put your bin in place, spray, position, and just that'll keep that steady. So using your miter bond again each time, you're putting your dab on the wood, spray on the base, get the position, hold him in there for a couple of seconds, and then he's held enough there. He's not strong, it's a very brittle joint, but it's perfectly strong to hold him in place for as long as before you can go and tack it. And that's what you do afterwards. Get all the bins out, turn them upside down. Now the tacks here, that's what's giving those strength. They won't be moving from side to side. And then they're going to be flipped upside down and the bins go in. So I made 3 of them in total. Took out a hole then for access for a plug, and then just cleaned everything off. And I reckon you all know what's coming next. Yeah, black. So slowly but surely work my way through, get all of them done. It'll be worth it in the long run. You just gotta keep saying that to yourself. It'll be worth it in the long run. gave everything a nice healthy coat of black. Filled in any of the screws or anything like that, any big lumps and bumps, to sort of fill them or file them off. And then look, as I was at it, may as well paint the back, which is 1, 2, 3, and it just happened so quickly. No, this was wrecking my head. A big red bin in a lovely dark background. So I put all the drawers back in, took all the labels out, laid them out in that pattern, and do you know what, as I was at it, there was something that's been bugging me for a while. That clock, I want that clock black. Get your bit of masking tape, tape off the face of it, get your blade, just carefully enough, trim around the edge, push the masking tape in, and yeah, they're good to go. So light coats of primer. Like, it looks like I'm doing it fast here, but they've like 10-15 minutes to dry between each coat. It's very important you put light coats. And when it is dry at the end, pull off the masking tape, reveal your black clock, and everything is going to be put in place now. So a couple of dabs of construction glue, put them in place, attach it into the back. Now there's only 3 screws really holding them in place, but the glue will do the job there. And now trim off the right hand side, which I'm going to eventually screw into the framework of the shed there, just again giving it more strength. And now it's time for your little blue box carcass thing to go in. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. That's lovely. Now, piece to seal off the left hand side. When all that's done, I thought I should coat this thing in varnish, because it's going to be getting a lot of abuse, sliding boxes in and out, but it's frustrating varnishing black. But I have a trick. 1, 2, 3, done. So now, time for the metal bins to come back in, and I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that doesn't look better. That looks lovely. Getting the blue bins in was much harder. That worked. Didn't even look for that one. Oh, that was bad. But ultimately, really nice. Loads of storage. All my bits and pieces. They now have a home. Happy days. So drill comes in, screw them in place, plug them in, sorted. Well, there's an important tool to find a home for. Having a pillar drill really is an important thing to have in a workshop, because you can drill things plumb, you know, it's very important. Having all the bits and pieces to do with the drill within an arm's reach of it is brilliant. I have all my bolts, I have my washers, I have my awkward bits and pieces, my brackets, all those awkward bits and pieces. And then here, I have all the small little bits and pieces, those really annoying little things that you keep losing. Now I have a place for all of them. But as I said, in the middle of it all, the pillar drill. Really important. Really important. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'd love it if you could join me next week. I'm going at the dust extraction for the miter saw. So the idea there is I use a miter saw and all the dust I'm creating gets sucked away. That's the optimistic viewpoint. Hope I can do it. I always kind of learn something when I'm confused. So I'm expecting to be confused. So please join me in my confusion next week. If you haven't left a like and a subscribe, please do. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. See you next week.